Welcome to the CHIPS Tips and Tricks. If you'd like to follow along, in the back of the newsletter is the tips and tricks. I'm going to go ahead and get started with the first tip and trick, and it is printing reports to PDF. If you go in here and let's pick like maybe the yearly report here, you click on the yearly report. You'd fill out your information like you normally would about your maybe department ranges or report sequences, or you can have the protect social security numbers, have the yearly page, yearly total page only print. But I'm going to go and press OK here, and the option that we're talking about is right here in print to PDF. You notice when print to PDF is selected, the preview button, the print to file, and the printer are no longer options that are available on here. We just have to set to PDF, press OK, and then now we can go to a user-defined location to save the report in here. So save report as PDF. What a lot of people do is they will have a folder that they may call PDF reports or something along those lines. They would go ahead and give those, a name. Some places may even, have a year, like 2019, and then maybe have all the January reports saved in there and the February reports. We can just go to save. It saves the report to PDF. So if we go over here, we go to PDF reports, and then here's your PDF report. You can just easily double click on it and bring it up, and then there's your report. For the next tip and trick is about termination dates. Now, if you go into employee maintenance, and we can easily scroll over and see a termination date all the way over to the far right hand side. So if we go into any employee, we fill in a termination date, and then we go ahead and press OK, we can now see that this termination date shows up right here, and it's very easy to see that termination date. It's also up here on, if we go down to advanced search, that we see that termination date is available through here. So if we unselect everything and we just select termination date, and then let's go ahead and put in the date, that we can search by it, and we can see that that termination date came up here as this person has it, and we can easily double click on it and we can see their profile. For the next tip and trick, I was going to show you ethnic origins. If an employee has an ethnic origins already assigned, during the conversion process they will be brought over. If not, you can go to employees and go to ethnic origin, or go right here to ethnic origin on the screen right here under the employees navigation pane down here. So we click on employee maintenance and we click on edit. You can see here's an ethnic origin. Now you can click the magnifying glass and you can assign employee an ethnic origin that's already created in the system. If there are no ethnic origins created in the system and there was nothing in there previously, and you would like to add ethnic origins, see down here you can press the F7 button, and that will take you in here to add ethnic origins. And you could type in here the ethnic origin you'd like to put in, and then you'd press OK, and then you can see that fills in here. Also, when you click on the magnifying glass, that becomes an option on here of where you're able to fill that in, and we can press OK and close. Or if we actually do go into ethnic origins here, you can see that that's part of the ethnic origins now. The next tips and tricks I want to talk about is employee job titles can be put in here, so then it will allow user-defined job titles to be put in the system. This will allow users to predefine job titles that can be assigned to employees that can maybe better fit the employee job title than what we have in there. Any previous job titles put in will be converted over to the latest version. And if you'd like to add in your own job titles, you can always go to employees, and then job titles will be available in here. From here, we have the job titles that were brought over, and then we can also add job titles. If we want to go ahead and click on add job title, we could go in here and we can make it any kind of job title that you would see fit. And maybe let's make this account manager. And if we go ahead and close it here, and then now when we go to employees, employee maintenance, we could click on any employee, click on edit, and then now the job titles are here. We can click on the magnifying glass here, and then we could click here to go ahead and click on that job title, and we can now use that predefined job title. Also, if we wanted to be able to add job titles on the fly while we are in employee maintenance, you can see down here at the bottom, if we press F7, that allows us to add a job title on the fly. The next tip and trick is about note alerts. If you go into employees, so we go in here to employees, we pick employee, we click on edit, and we go to employee notes. Now on the notes, not only do we have a follow-up date in here, we also have a follow-up user. And we can assign a date and a user to follow up on this note. In the past, you would just fill in a date and what the user that you're logged in as would have it. Now it can be assigned to other users. Click here in the magnifying glass. You can see any other users. Like in this case, we're just going to keep it on the CHIPS login. And then if we say OK and OK, we close out of there. And then we close out of here and we log back into CHIPS. We log into CHIPS with the CHIPS login. It's going to log in, and then the follow-up note is going to appear here. So here we can either edit, view, we can view the employee, we can edit the employee, we can print the notes report. But if we just simply go in here and edit, and then we say follow-up complete, and then we say OK, the status will be completed, and then that will not pop up anymore for us to follow up on. The next tip and trick is about deduction earning codes. There's an easy way to see what all employees have certain deduction earning codes by going to General and Deduction Earning Codes. We pick the deduction earning code that we are going to show for. We click on Edit, and now there's this button that says Employees with this code. When you click on Employees with this code, a new window will pop up showing all employees that have that deduction earning code. On this screen here, we can select which employees we want to look at. We can click on the employee, and we can click on Edit Employee Deduction Earning Code. We're going to go directly into that deduction earning code and change amounts or frequencies or any of the options that we have on here. Down at the bottom is what options are selected is what's going to show in there. Whether we want to show the different employee statuses of active, inactive, terminated, retired, leave of absence, or applicant, employee type of hourly, salary, or non-employee. We could even have it from and to a department range, or from and to an employee class range. The next tip and trick that I'm going to show is in employee maintenance. If we go in here into employee maintenance, we press edit, that you'll see this expense account button. When you press this expense account button, it's going to go into this window and show you all the expense accounts that the employee uses. There's also an option of being able to see what all expense accounts is, and there's a suppress duplicate expense accounts. When this is selected, you'll see that it eliminates duplicate expense accounts from showing on the screen. You should be able to, you can use this to create a worksheet to show the accounts that you need to distribute. So then that way it kind of makes it a little bit easier to help you figure out which accounts are duplicated, and if you're going through distributions and you're going to distribute out the accounts, that it will give you some more options of being able to find those accounts and pick what accounts are being duplicate. You can print off these different pages here and see this option here to easily see what expense accounts can easily be created for distributions. For the next tip and trick, in system controls, there's an option on the controls tab. So if we go under general, and then we go to system controls, I'm going to click on edit, and on the controls tab, when this enable employee retirement is selected and enable insurance premium, what those are connected to is if we press OK out of here, and then we go into employee maintenance, and we go to into any employee, on the payroll tab is this employee retirement and insurance premium. Now, while that option's in system controls, we go back to general and system controls, and then edit, and on the controls tab, these options are in here because they can be unselected for customers that only have retirement taken out through deductions. So I'm going to go and say OK here. And I'm going to go back into employee maintenance, and we're going to take a look at that, and then you can see that this is no longer an option. Those are grayed out after we turned off that employee maintenance, or after we turned off those options. And the next tip and trick is in employee maintenance for departments. If we click on employee maintenance, departments has now been added to the sequence here. So we can sequence the employees by department. We can see each of the department information here. We can also go back to advanced search if we wanted to go down, and we can see department information in here. And click on select none and click on department. We could fill in here department 200, and we can search. We can get everybody that's in department 200. We could easily go into advanced search and double click on them and bring up their information. Also, not only do we have it in the sequence here, but if you like seeing the sequence here, you have the option of going into preferences. And when you go to employee maintenance, you can set your default as department in here under employee search sequence. And then that way, when we press OK, the preference can be set on your login to have department be the first field that shows up. The next tip and trick is also in system controls. So if we go in here under general and system controls, we click on edit and go to the controls tab. There's this new option to prompt to add node on employee change, and you can also set up a default change node type in here. Now I'm just going to go ahead and leave this blank. And when this option is selected, like this, when we press OK, then now we go to employee maintenance. And now when any change is made on the employee, it's going to prompt you to add a note to that employee. So then you can put in a reason why it was changed. So like, let's say if we press edit on Monica Baines here, and let's say, if the job title changed from accounting clerk to accounting manager, and I'm going to press OK, it's going to say changes made to this employee. Do you want to add an employee change note to this employee? If I say yes, it's going to pop up with today's date. The type is going to be employee change note. The author is going to be what you're logged in as. We have kind of a follow-up option or follow-up user if we wish to. Or we could just simply put a note in here saying Monica had a promotion today. And then we can say OK to that. And then we can see now that this employee change note here has been saved, and it will always be in the employee's account. And once we're done, we just go straight back to this screen. We can press the OK button and we can close out of there. For the next option, I would like to show that employee direct deposits can be different colors for active or inactive. So you can easily see which option the employee's direct deposit is. To be able to do that, we need to go to System Controls by going to General and System Controls. Then we'll need to click on Edit, and then we'll go to the Preferences tab. In the Preferences tab, you'll see that the second from the bottom button here is Employee Direct Deposit Color Preferences. When we click on Employee Direct Deposit Color Preferences, we see that we have the 15 different color options for both active and inactive. We can click the drop down here and we can pick one of the options. Like, let's say for active, we want active to appear as green, and then we can go over to inactive, and then we want to make inactive appear as red. So then you could easily see at the screen whether it's active or inactive. I'm going to go and press the back button, and then I'm going to exit out of System Controls. Once I've exited out of System Controls, I go to Employee Maintenance. I can go to the employee that has direct deposit turned on. I can click on Edit, and now when I go to the Direct Deposit tab, I can easily see which accounts are active and which ones are inactive. The inactive one you can see here is red, and the active one is green. So it gives just a way to easily see which option is on there. The last tip and trick that I'd like to show you is a new report that we have. So if we go into Reports and we go to Deduction Reports here, we have Deduction Employee List. These that have that deduction earning code on it, we can click on there. We can either have this by deduction code range, or we can have a selection of deduction codes. But we click on here, and we can select which deduction codes by putting a checkbox in it of which ones that we want to include. I'm going to go ahead and cancel it, and I'm going to go ahead and have all of it because this is from and to a deduction code range. We also have an employee number range, a department range, a class range, the employee type of hourly, salaried, or even non-employee. We have the employee status of active, inactive, leave of absence, terminated, retired, and applicant. You can include employees' deduction detail. We're going to protect Social Security number. You can put a report subtitle on here, and then you could return back to the screen. Like if you're doing maybe a couple different deduction codes here, return back to the screen, change your deduction codes, print it again, and you can kind of change your options and keep on printing the report. And then we can also send this report to Excel, But I'm going to go and press OK, and then we're going to look at the default report of what it looks like just as it brings out all the deduction codes. Here you have the deduction code, you have the description, you have the check description, you have the type, and then you have what employees have it. And then down here you can see total number of employees that have this deduction code. So you could easily scroll through all of your deductions, and you could see, you know, like with dental, there's 8 employees that have dental. And then we can scroll through here and see, you know, like no employees have like a bonus set up or anything, but then that makes sense. And, you know, with like health insurance, you know, there's 7 employees. Here's your 7 employees. Here's their employee number. Here's their social security number, the department, their pay frequency, and if they're active or what their status is. Could be inactive as well. But we can go through here all throughout the report, and it just goes each deduction earning code at a time. That concludes the tips and tricks. Thank you.